Hi, I'm Becky Berry. I am a career coach. I help people go from overwhelmed at all of the issues involved in career search to on their way with strategies and good information so they can make progress in their careers. This week's video is waiting for the other shoe to drop. Picture this. You're at school. Maybe you're in high school, maybe you're in college. And you struggle mightily to remember what you learned in school the day before. You struggle mightily to remember what you crammed into your study time last night. You know if you go in and take that test, or when you go in and take that test, that you're probably not going to get a grade that reflects your level of understanding of the material. And this is not going to be the first time that happened. And your teacher's going to look at you and say, "What's wrong with you? You're so smart. Why can't you do this?" And your parents are going to say, or your peers maybe, "You're so smart. Why can't you do this? Why can't you make an A or a B? Why can't you pass this?" And that's going to happen over and over and over in your life. Why do I bring this up? Because I had this conversation with my son the other day, who's getting ready to go back to college after a semester off with a concussion. And no, he's not an athlete. And he said, "Mom, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop." And I asked him, "Do you feel that way all the time?" And he says, "Yeah, I do. I do. I think I've got things under control at school. I'll have all of my, I'll have my work. Then I get to that test, and I will have known it the day before, and I will have responded in class, and boom, I screw up the test." Invariably, it's a math test. A lot of people with ADD struggle with math because of the way it works and because of the way their brains work and process. And I thought to myself, that just stinks. I asked him if he thinks his other friends feel that way, just waiting for the other shoe to drop. And he's like, no. Oh, and you should know, he's newly diagnosed with ADD. Well, newly, 4 years ago when he was 19. But I've heard this from my students. I've heard this from my siblings who have ADD. And of course from my friends who have ADD, including my husband. And they just go around with this constant feeling that when is the next shoe going to drop? When am I going to fail the next time? It takes a lot of work to move out of that headspace. I said these words to my son. I'm like, "Well, Ken, that's just your ADD brain." And he looks straight at me and he goes, "Hey, Mom, it's just my brain." Hello. It's just his brain. Yes, he has ADD, but he does not have, it's not his ADD brain, it's him. And I went, oh, okay. I need to change the way I talk about that. I need to change the way I speak about it with him and with my clients who have ADD. So what do you do? How do you get over that? It's hard. It takes a lot of work. You got to make some notes. You got to look at where your successes are. You got to write your successes down. And you've got to look at those and go, here's where I'm successful. In looking at where you're successful, in asking people to remind you when you're successful, it will help you overcome that negative talk in your head. For those of you who care for people with ADD who get in this really negative self-talk space in their heads, what we have to do, because I'm one of those people, what we have to do is find genuine ways to say, yeah, I see that. I see that you struggle with that. But look how well you do this. And here's what's going to come back to you. Because I've done it. Yeah, Mom, that didn't help me pass the test. And I'm like, okay, so what can we figure out to help you pass the test? He's like, I'm not going to pass the test. I can't use help. Help never works for me. So there you are going against that brick wall that's been carefully developed over the years. And you just have to keep pushing at it. My number one piece of coaching for my son, for my clients, for anybody, is to find an advocate at work, at school. Find somebody who knows you and appreciates you and ask them for help. Ask for some strategies. You don't have to disclose a diagnosis. You can just say, if you know how you work best, you can say, well, I've got this big project due, and I really work best with it in small chunks, which, by the way, is a number one productivity tip. Can you give me some guidelines for how to split it up, and maybe give me some deadlines in the middle? Because maybe you work better with a deadline. I know I do. But you never have to disclose that you have ADD. If you're in a school situation, you call it, but I think you might disclose. But what it is you have to find the person who can help you advocate for yourself. The person who gets you, and they're there. They're there. They are in the schools, they are in the colleges, but they might not be the people right in front of you. Instead of waiting for the next shoe to drop, or instead of watching somebody who you know is waiting for that next shoe to drop, extend an offer of help. Try and find some strategies. Try and find somebody to advocate for them. And if it's you, ask for help. People want to help you. You're worth it. You're worth it. You're worth it. Thanks for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please like it on YouTube. Give me a thumbs up. Share it on Facebook. Share it with your friends. You can find me online at BeckyBerryCoach.com. You can hear my podcast, Uniquely Brilliant, on the iTunes Store or on the website, uniquelybrilliant.me.